Hello and welcome to Taking the Biz. This is, of course, the channel for A-level business students just like you who are looking to revise. This video is for Edexcel A-level business students, and in it we're going to be having a look at some examination technique in particular. We're going to be looking at how you might try and craft an 8-mark answer in your exam.
So if we have a look at the kind of 8-mark question we might encounter in exams, we'll see that on first sight it looks like they might be wanting us to talk about just one side of a particular argument. In this question that says assess 2 benefits of quality control for a business such as Cadbury, we might think that we launch straight into discussing 2 benefits, and as long as we explain those 2 benefits pretty well, we'll be in a position where we can get ourselves 8 out of 8. That's not strictly true with an 8-mark question because of that opening word of assess. Although the question is about the benefits of quality control, this question requires us to assess those benefits, which means we need to challenge them. We need to try and explain why these benefits might be limited, or why they might not occur, or why there's reasons to doubt the validity of these benefits. So, if we have a look at the case study that this question is on, just as in 4 markers, application is crucial when we're doing an 8-mark question. You'll see that in this case study we're given quite a lot of detailed information. It tells us a bit about the background of the business, the products they're selling, tells us about some of the fortunes of the business and what they're going through at the moment, and we need to try and take some of these facts, some of these bits of data, some of this information, and we need to try and weave it into the response that we are going to create. So if we have a look at how we could open an 8-mark question, we want to take these benefits one at a time. We'll discuss each of them in isolation, but we can't just show the benefits. We can't just state what they are and then run away from them. We've got to really assess them. We've got to talk about the consequences of these benefits, what it might mean for the organisation, what it might mean for Cadbury's in this case. And we want to try and cast some kind of comment on how valid these benefits are. Are there any limitations to them? Are there any reasons why they might not come true? Are there any reasons to doubt the validity of these benefits? So let's open it up by saying using quality control on their chocolate production line, so we'll try and get the application going inside the first sentence, should benefit Cadbury because, and then we're going to need a solid point that we're going to base this paragraph around. And we're going to say that quality control could benefit Cadbury because products with faults won't be dispatched to customers, such as the major supermarkets. So we're going to use the major supermarkets just to keep this idea in context. But the point that we're going to base this whole paragraph around is that quality control could be good for Cadbury's because now they won't be sending products out to customers that are faulty. But then we want to try and analyse this benefit. So what does that mean for Cadbury's? If they're spotting faults before they reach customers, how does that impact on them? So we could say this should prevent damage to the reputation Cadbury's has built up over more than 200 years of trading. And we take that little fact from the case study so that everything we're writing is nicely in context. But we want to go further. We want to try and analyze this in greater detail. We want to try and keep the chain of analysis that we're creating going even further. So we might say that therefore, by having a reputation for high quality, this should support Cadbury in their objective of achieving 6 billion in sales by 2020. So we've talked about how we can build up this chain of analysis. We can keep it going for longer. We can really explain this idea. Cadbury's won't be sending products out with faults to them. But why is that good? What does that lead to? What does it mean? But we want to try and reflect on that point. We want to try and show some balance, a word that you'll see in Edexcel mark schemes. And although we might say that there are distinct benefits around being able to spot products before they go out to customers, we could just put some note of caution on that and say, however, although quality control spots defects before the chocolate is dispatched to customers, it doesn't prevent errors from occurring in the first place. which increased the unit cost per chocolate bar for Cadbury. So we've said why spotting defects before they're dispatched to customers is good, but we put that note of caution at the end there. We use a however sentence to show the examiner a bit of balance. We know that this is good, we know that this is a benefit, but we're aware that it has limitations. We're able to appraise how strong a benefit this is. Now, just to make sure that we are explaining ourselves in our answer, let's have a look at the key points here highlighted in yellow. So we've got our point, first of all, that the whole section, the whole paragraph is based around that products with faults won't be dispatched to customers. So we've got that bit. But then we've gone on to explain why is that good. So it might prevent damage to reputation, might help us achieve our objective. And then we've got the however point showing the balance at the end. Where have we got the application going in this answer to make sure that we get into those top levels when the examiner's marking it? Well, we've talked about chocolate production lines. We've talked about the kind of customers that Cadbury's have, like the major supermarkets. We've pinched that line about 200 years of trading. Perhaps the best bit of application in there is that use of the 6 billion in sales by 2020. So we've actually referenced what this business in this case study is trying to achieve. Even in a however section there, you'll see that we've mentioned chocolate and chocolate bars just to keep the whole section in context. Then when we look at our second benefit, we're essentially repeating the same kind of structure. We want a strong point to base this paragraph around. We want to get some application and some context going in it. But crucially, we want to analyze. We want to explain a chain of consequences of the idea that we've come up with. So our second benefit is that the quality of the products may be high because specialist quality inspectors will be used to assess the quality of the finished chocolate bars rather than the employees on the production line having to check the quality of their own work. So this may lead Cadbury being able to command a higher price for the bars such as Whispers and Flakes. Therefore, the profit margin on a Cadbury chocolate bar may be higher. So our point is that quality control means that we will need specialist employees, people who know quality inside out. We're not asking the employees on the production line as an additional task to try and notice errors or defects. We've got staff whose job is dedicated to that, which should mean that the products we produce are better quality. But we don't just drop that point and walk away from it. We expand it, we analyze it. So that means that we might be able to command a higher price, and that might mean that we've got a greater profit margin on every chocolate bar that we sell. But we want to come in with another however point here. We want to show the balance. We want to illustrate to the examiner that we know the limitations of this point. So we might say, however, the hiring of specialist quality inspectors is an additional cost for Cadbury's to fund. Cadbury's would need to ensure that the increased added value of producing this high quality chocolate outweighs the cost of hiring these quality control inspectors. So when we're doing an 8 marker, we're going to have 2 different points, but the crucial word is balance. If it's asking us to assess 2 benefits, we need to establish the limitations of those benefits as well. If the question asks us to assess 2 limitations, again we might say how those limitations might have their own restrictions, how there might be a limit to how damaging they are to the business. So there's our 8 markers. Application's crucial. The strength of the points we start each paragraph with is also crucial, as in making sure we explain the consequences of our ideas.